As always, streamline reminders, mental health is important. Please, if you're experiencing any type of mental stress or unease, seek professional help. Therapists and psychiatrists, they are trained and given tools to help you. You might not find the right fit right away. Don't give up. Just keep trying with new professionals until you find the right fit for you for your specific mental needs. Down below, we have a Wikipedia link. It has international crisis and emergency lines. There's also 988 that you can call or text 24/7, 365 in the U.S. And if you are 25 or younger and part of the LGBT community, you can contact the Trevor Project. They can provide discreet assistance if you are in a position where you are not safe to come out. Besides that, down below we also have links for social medias, Ko-fi, Throne, also our Discord server. Down below, it's community Discord server. It is not all about this channel. It is a gaming community. It's got a section specifically for TTRPGs, but it also has board games, card games, space for all of that to be discussed. With all that said, though, welcome back to the Highroad of Maluviette. This is episode 58 already. It is a high fantasy my god, my mouth, my words. It is a 5e campaign, high fantasy. Our heroes are traveling a 1900-mile stretch of road to clear it out. Over the centuries, it has gone into disrepair and is not currently safe to use. So their job is to deal with any problems that have arisen on it. Besides any naturally occurring problems, they're also dealing with purple crystals known as torment fragments that mutate mind and body, as well as the fact that both player and character share a body. The last session was just a wonderful cavalcade of problems. Near the beginning of it, everyone decided to take a rest. They figured they'd probably choose to just take the day off. Pennsylvania was like 3, 4 a.m. by the time they got to trying to rest. Boyway ended up discovering that the Hermit's body was probably blown to pieces not too far up the high road, so everyone decided to venture forth and try to find the pieces. We had ourselves a little Easter egg hunt with all of the wiggling pieces torn from the flesh. Not exactly a happy Easter egg hunt, but they were able to put him back together. After that, as everyone kind of started to rest and go through the process, we had a variety of issues and possible concerns, including that the darkness seems to be lingering over, maybe related to Spiritonus, the deity, because it wasn't solved by the previous problem that was dealt with. And near the end, Wrath awoke to being leaning over Tempest's body with an evil force trying to push him to kill her. As was deduced, it was Tiamat, the goddess of evil, an eight-headed dragon. It was also pieced together that the Kindhairs, who use Tiamat's artifact Soul Drinker as a symbol of their nobility, has essentially 8 heads and are almost guaranteed pawns of Tiamat's to sow evil and chaos into the world. Over those couple days, though, there were also a multitude of nightmares that were experienced. Twilight had a nightmare about the angel breaking their deal and dragging her away after slaughtering all of her friends. Tempest had a nightmare where she was looking into what appeared to be a pool of black liquid, recounting all of the terrible things that she's done in her past, people she's killed, and the such, as she has been conflicted about what she has done and how to go forward, as well as seeing a silhouette of a woman with horns and a tail. As we're coming back, though, it is still the middle of the night, and Pius, we're essentially rolling back time here to when you sat down to start your long rest. From my understanding, your plan was to try to contact the other ones inside of you?
Yeah. Again. At least try to, yeah.
Try again? Okay. So, it didn't work last time. How are you going to try approaching making that connection to them?
Fuck, I forgot what we talked about last time.
The key takeaway is that when you had tried the first time, you had been trying to connect with yourself.
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah. So instead I'm going to I'm going to try and connect with Deuce in the void.
Okay. So you're going to kind of focus on what Pius knows of Deuce, the personality, and try to kind of feel out the same connection from when Deuce has kind of taken over before?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and give me an insight check then.
Mm. 17.
70. All right, it goes smoothly. You do find yourself standing in that kind of void-like space that you had before, and you are face to face with Deuce. Obviously, you are role-playing both of these characters, as you are both Deuce in real life and Pius in game.
Yeah, I should have thought about this before I tried this. This is gonna be awkward as fuck. Hello again. How are you holding up? I've been better. What about you? Oh, you know, the same old. Same old. I didn't really think about what I wanted to talk about to you before I contacted you. I guess I could have just thought about it, but you never answer. Yeah, because I'm mostly sleeping. Unless you do something stupid. Well, I mean, you didn't have to put it like that. Do you ever get to talk to the others that are like me? Not really. I like to keep my distance. Don't want to interfere, you know? Right. Well, you know, I've been thinking, about your. And he looks around. Living arrangement. Do you want me to, like, think of at least a couch or something? You know, that wouldn't be too bad. I'd actually really appreciate that, Pius. Thank you. Yeah, I'll work on it. I don't exactly know how to do it. Let me try. He tries to imagine, like a small one-bedroom apartment, centered on both of us.
Give me a wisdom check, just raw wisdom.
Raw, we're going in raw.
They don't call you Raw Dog Ron for nothing.
That's right, baby. Wisdom. That's a +5. I was higher than that. Shit. Ooh, 23.
23. With that, you're thinking about it, and you see it all starting to take shape, take form, and you kind of slow down and try to focus on one thing at a time. You are able to get a couch, a desk, a bed, a TV, although you're not exactly sure what would play on this TV. It does have a remote. And you choose like up to like 4 or 5 non-digital internet things that you're able to form in this room. But it forms kind of in line with like just your real world kind of bedroom. The blank gets you like a good bed, the patterns are nice to the eye.
Holy shit. That actually worked. Ah. Looks like I was underestimated. Maybe a little bit. Thanks, pal. Listen, I've been a little hard to deal with in the past, but it's kind of nice here. No sound, no people. It's kind of nice. That's actually kind of sad. But sure, if you enjoy it, I guess great. Yeah. Anyway, did you need anything else? No, actually. But if you do come in contact with the others, please let me know. I'd like to speak with them again, if possible. Sure thing. I'll be the first to let you know. And Pius leaves.
How do you approach me? You are currently standing in, like, technically a studio. not a one-bedroom apartment.
How do I approach what?
How do you approach leaving this space?
Well, if there's not a door, I would think Pius would think about one.
Absolutely, there's a door. It forms easily and quickly. I want you to give me one more wisdom check. Disadvantage, the DC is 15.
Seven.
Oof. Okay, so as you leave, you walk out the door, everything kind of goes black again, and you're back in your meditative position.
Okay.
Also, poor Captain isn't making it tonight. Best wishes to his wife, who's having a bit of a meltdown.
Oh no, she okay?
Probably not, but she will be okay. That's why he's there. He's not joining us tonight.
Poor guy. Or poor her.
So yeah, Pius, you having successfully done this, you can surmise that it's about targeting the right thought, following through, and being able to check the finer details of it, to pay attention to them. You can't fully realize a couch just by how it looks, so to speak. But the same goes for like making the connections to the others inside of you.
Okay, so being more detailed in the future.
Yep. More detailed and what exactly it is you're focusing on.
Okay.
Yeah, beyond that, after all of the other stuff that happens through the night, though, you are all able to wake up. You've gotten a long rest. You've gotten your hit points, hit dice, spell slots, all of that back. It is the morning now. And you're probably all not feeling so great mentally after how crazy everything been since you left the Giant's Chalice. But you are rested at the very least. How do you all want to go about starting your
We
day?
are what? We are rested at the what?
You are rested.
Okay.
So, how do you want to go about starting your day?
How's Pius's eyes? Like, how is Pius acting, basically?
Like Pius?
Do
I would
know
assume.
notice anything different?
Twilight,
You
who are you
sound
speaking
young.
to?
I'm speaking to whoever is willing to answer the question. How about that? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm a smart ass tonight. So how is? Oh, I guess I could ask Pius. So, or the DM, how is he acting? Do I notice anything abnormal?
You see, his blue lights are not as bright as they usually are, and they kind of pulse a little bit, especially when he's not speaking.
So, Pius, you okay? Like,
Yes, I'm quite fine. Why?
you're just. So your lights are just kind of a little pulsy, but hey, you say you're okay. We're good.
Yes, I feel fine. Just a little lost in thought, you know. I'll be okay.
In deep thought.
Yes, balls deep in thought. Metaphorically, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
Right, well, I'll go ahead and do something. What? What were you saying?
You want to try to make food?
Yes, where's Captain?
Yeah, speak of the devil, where is that little one?
He's over there, but he looks like he's a little passed out.
So
he's just eating. He's eating
awake.
dirt again.
Yeah, he's awake. but it's more like he's really lethargic. Like he's just kind of there, almost just zoned out.
Yeah, I don't think we should be asking him for breakfast.
Yes, I'll go ahead and start the fire.
I'll go find something to cook.
And in the process, I'm gonna get my good berry ring back, so I'm gonna change out my spell.
I'll join Wrath on the hunt.
All right, then. Wrath, Tempest, one of you will roll survival with advantage. You two decide which one.
You can take it since you have the keen sense of smell.
I forgot to pull my sheet up. Give me a second.
Oh no!
I knew I was short on something here. Okay. Survival? I have a +9.
Raph, you are so quiet.
That wasn't Wrath.
That was Maya. That was Tempest. You'll
So
probably need to turn up
mean.
her individual volume. Because she's loud enough for me. 20. Yeah, with 20, you are able to find yourselves a buffalo chicken nest that currently only has a child. Just a little one in it.
We find a child? Is that what you said?
A buffalo chicken child. 10,
Oh.
I guess.
Should be some lean meat.
Yeah, my morals say one thing, but my hunger is more dominant.
Morals. You have morals?
Don't
You
worry
bring
about it.
morals when you hunt?
Morals? Debatable. But food. There's nothing to be discussed. I'm just lunging on it.
All right, it is not old enough to defend itself, so it's a very easy kill. And you can get about like 25 pounds of usable meat out of it after you take it back to camp and start pulling it apart, that is.
Hey guys, we got 24 pounds of meat. Ha ha.
You're a terrible liar, Tempest.
Is it the blood? Is it still on my face?
No, it's the voice of God that I heard.
Oh? Can I
I'm just
fight
kidding.
him?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't care. I don't eat it, so who cares? If you want to eat it, go for it.
Tease me like that.
Well, you have to have fun.
I was hoping I could fight him.
Do you want to?
At this point...
I'd be more than willing to rip you in half, Tempest.
Oh.
Can I help?
No,
We don't have room for collateral.
but you are next. Haha. I'm kidding. Kinda.
So,
No,
Mice,
all jokes. Yes.
sorry, my mic is also delayed like 1.5 seconds.
You're good.
You would have noticed, though, during the time when we were out hunting, the hermit just kind of like sat around the fire as you were getting it started. He's been enveloped in the journal from the castle back in the Valley of Giants. He seems to be flipping through the
Okay.
pages, like trying to cross-reference them against each other.
Hermit, what are you up to?
Oh, well, remember, Twilight had asked me to go through the journal and see if there was anything important, and, I haven't had a chance to talk about what I had read before we left the valley. But I'm still checking through it, and I'm trying to keep myself occupied. After you all left the ship, before I, blew it up, there was, flashes of memories. I don't know how to deal with them. It was mostly like feelings and how about I tell you what I learned about the Halbrin family from the Lord's Journal first.
Sure, yeah.
So apparently, his father, not the last Lord, but the one before, he had received a strange tome from the Lord Kinehurst at that point in time, and in it detailed a world known as Harmony, and they had many deities apparently, well beyond just the ones we have. Although they were there as well. Deities. A few of the notable ones were like Odin and Gilgamesh, as well as Anubis. It was a very large pantheon. And apparently, the statues they erected in the castle were based on those versions of our deities.
Ah, that would explain why they looked so strange.
Yes. But the weird part, how he describes that tome, it was like traveler's brochure, except it was hundreds of pages detailing the various eras of the world, notable people, how easy to difficult it would be to create a temporal disturbance for a multiversal traveler.
You said a multiversal traveler?
Yes, apparently the name of the tome was, the Multiverse Traveler's Guide to Harmony.
Interesting. So it seems I am not the only one traveling through specks of time, or space, for that matter.
Yes. From his smatterings as he understood it, apparently there's some type of agency that controls, recreational travel between realities.
And I would assume that they're still active, right?
That's where it gets a little confusing. Trying to parse the information that he did include. Every reality is its own separate time space. And in between those realities is the void, as we know it. It's nothing. There's no space, there's no time. It's just nothing. So when you travel from one reality to another, there's not a linear time to match up with. So you can travel to all different times. So technically at all times this agency exists.
Wow, that is a lot to take in. No wonder you sound distressed.
Honestly, that's the less worrisome part for me right now. I might be a multiversal traveler as well. Maybe.
Really? So you're more than just a hermit that's been possessed by a god of the cosmos.
Yes, I suppose. The memories that came back, they were very fragmented. I remember having overwhelming power and sacrificing myself in an explosion to save my friends. It did not feel like the first time I've done this when I did that at the ship.
So maybe there was a different group that you traveled the Highroad with. In a different universe.
Possibly. Could have been another reality altogether.
Huh. I wonder.
That's the part that concerns me, though, is because other than these flashes of more like emotional memory, I don't have memories outside of my time here in Maluviette.
That... For some reason, that makes sense, because different realities, different molecules and atoms, not the same as the reality you left. Or possibly, there's some kind of magic at play here.
Possibly.
And as a note, by this point, Wrath, Tempest, you've both gone back and you've heard most of the conversation up to this point, at least half of it.
I don't know nothing about traveling no time zones.
Do I hear it?
Oh yeah, you've been there the whole time. You've been enthralled by his words.
So basically what he's trying to say is there is no concept of time.
Well, time is a human... Well, I shouldn't say human. Time is a sentient being-made concept. The laws of the universe are still quite misunderstood, from what I remember. It's so complicated. It would take something or someone with a very high knowledge of how reality works and being able to control it.
So wouldn't that be through time?
Well, yes.
Okay, then the reality of time is time is just a reality in itself.
Sort of, yes.
Right.
There's just always so many more questions.
You know, if you all wouldn't mind, could we just take like 2, 3, maybe even 4 days and just kind of breathe? I don't think a daycation is quite enough at the moment. And we've been on the road for less than 2 months. You have a full year, and we're already almost halfway there.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt. I just don't really have a lot to do in my downtime, to be honest.
You can read my book. You can read me the book to me. How about that? Does that sound fair? Because I really hate reading.
No, I mean, I still do have my book as well, but
Pius, you also
I don't
realize
think
that
that's how-
whoever reads it is the one that gets the bonus. So if you read it, you would get the bonus from it.
actually, you know what, Twilight?
No. You're not reading the book.
Yes, it doesn't work that way, Twilight. I'm sorry. I would be more than happy to read it to you, but it would be useless to you.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Well, that gives you more time to read your book, and more time to read mine. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
I'm all for this reading stuff, but we got this buffalo chicken here. I'm gonna eat it if we don't start cooking it.
Okay, fine.
So as everything, as the cooking's happening and such, plates are being made, you guys have time to discuss, of course, whether you want to take just a day to breathe or a few days or anything like that. So all of you as a group right now, make that decision.
Day.
Well,
Let's do a vote. All in favor of taking a few days off and recuperating. Raise your hand. Pius raises his hand.
Raised.
I kind of raised, but I'm thinking, okay, what's the second option? I gotta hear them both before I can make my decision.
The other option is to continue forward. What do you mean?
No,
Yes, what else would it be?
I don't know. I thought you maybe like, hey, I
Go
thought you were giving us like a
backwards?
cool option. Like,
No, this is a group discussion, you dingus.
okay. Well, I know that, but you said, okay, well, let's take a vote. So if you only give us one option, what are we supposed to vote on?
The other option is implied.
Oh, okay, so it's
Yes.
an applied thing. Okay, well,
Yes, do you want to take a few days to rest or not? Okay, so that's me, Tempest, and Twilight. Wrath?
I'm fine with whatever. I wouldn't mind
he
a day or
pleads
two.
the fifth.
Okay.
The
So,
captain just
that's
kind of like
majority.
walks back in to the castle as you guys make that decision, and just you can tell he's going right back to bed.
Poor little guy is tuckered out.
Or thing.
I think he needs more alcohol.
I have the bottle.
Pretty sure that's what got you into this mess.
You know, that $10,000 bottle that, you know, I put a
One
little
that
bit in
you
my
both
alchemy
emptied.
jug. I still have a lot of that.
Well, yes, I guess that settles it. We'll take a few days and recuperate.
Perfect.
I'm going to read my book.
Okay, so for 3 days of rest and recuperation, you will have 48 hours of free time, essentially.
Perfect.
Which gives Captain, as he's laying there unable to sleep, his 48 hours. Pius, for you, you've only got 27 hours left on the book, which would leave you an additional 21 or 27 hours of free time.
Okay.
So think about that for the moment. Twilight, Tempest, both of you have read 8 hours of your 48. So you'll each have 8 hours of free time to do as well to get your book done. And wow, Wrath, I somehow jacked up your number because you should have had more read than both of them.
No, I stopped reading.
Oh, that's
I
right.
was
That's right.
interrupted and I never picked it up again.
So that would be 46 hours.
but-
So that's 2 hours of free time.
I'm not going to be reading.
Okay.
I just want to hurry up and get the book done and over with, so all of my free time is going to just be the book.
It will take you 40 hours of that, and you will still have another 8 hours of free time. You need to think about the extra free time. Wes, you're not going to read those, so I'm going to guess you have something you intend to do.
Yeah. The first day is everyone separates to read in their own private spaces. Wrath is going to move probably about 300 or so yards away from the group and Pius. Because I'm not sure, Pius, I'm sure you're away, that way Captain can sleep.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll choose a direction that Pius doesn't go, and I'll move about, like I said, 300 yards or so away from the group. And he finds a clearing or something to set all of his gear down in. He doesn't actually. He leaves a majority of his gear back at. I'm assuming the fortress is up. And instead, he brings his blades and his spellbook with him. And so he'll set his spellbook down on the grass and open it up, just to a blank page, honestly. And he'll take his blade out and unsheath it very slowly. Kind of drags a finger across the blade to test its sharpness. And he'll probably spend an hour or so just cleaning and sharpening the blade before anything, or just using it as meditation. I know it's a magical weapon and it doesn't actually need to be sharpened, but just kind of doing it meditatively. And then he will stand up and he's going to start trying to channel his magical energy just into the blade to make it like an extension of him, just to encapsulate the blade in his own aura, if you will. And his intention with this is to eventually channel enough energy to try to use it as a divining rod, because there's still this dark presence lingering over us, correct?
Yes, there's still that darkness kind of hanging over everything.
Okay. And he's just going to spend hours each day just practicing with his blade, going through different forms, using it as meditative practice, and try and extend his senses as he does this as much as he can to determine what direction this darkness might be coming from.
Okay. I think I might have missed in it. How much time after the initial hour meditation are you trying to do this? You could probably
like 3 or 4
go a
hours
good
a day. Like 3 or 4 hours a day before lunch, and then as the sun is setting, another 3 or 4 hours each day. On the in-between, he's reading and drawing and kind of trying to finish up his spell book. Just keeping an eye on things, as everybody literally spends all their time reading.
All right. Go ahead and for the first day, give me an insight.
Okay. Insight check. 17.
17. So you get a good foundation of putting the energy through, calibrating it to make it more like a full extension of your body. And around the end of that 4th hour, you realize that if this is a divine entity, that you'll need to harmonize your energy with deific energy to use this dividing rod. So to speak, call on Risha's guiding hand.
Okay. And he'll take that information and try to... He goes about it the same way for the... We're staying for 3 days, is that correct?
3
Yes.
or 4. But yeah.
Okay.
3 give and
So
take.
the first two, he, even though he knows this, that it would take some kind of essence of the divine to help him tune it to what he's looking for, he'll continue the way he is just to continue the practice of being one with his sword. So after realizing this, he no longer focuses on trying to point out where this darkness is coming from, and instead just tries to use it to listen closer to the world around him. Just make it a meditative state whenever he has this sword in hand and he's going through these different forms. It won't be until the third day that he attempts to actually talk to Risha about what he plans to do with that.
Okay. Give me one Arcana check. DC 15.
Sure. 14 plus 8, 22.
22? Okay, so you do get a good feel for it and being able to put the proper amount of energy, how to channel it with precision. So if you were like pushing, well, think about it in spell slot terms, you can accurately put a first level spell in without like jacking up and putting in a third level by accident.
Cool.
On the third day, you try to contact Risha, so I'll need a religion check for that one.
Okay, and I'll go ahead and roll before I say how he does it, I guess. It's only
Well,
a
how you do it
12.
might give you advantage. So,
Okay.
your first roll's a 12. Go ahead and describe it.
So he'll, realizing what he's about to try and do, he does his normal routine of cleaning the blade, and then he goes through his forms for a little while, but a lot shorter than typical. And he sets the blade down on top of the spellbook, which he's closed at this point, and he will strip down until he is just in, like, his jogger's pants. And as he does so, I need to double check something. Okay. Okay. And then as he strips down and is bare chested and everything, he picks the blade up once again, and he just makes a small incision on his chest. And as it starts to bleed, he reaches up and touches it, and then with the blood still on his fingers, starts to draw magical runes in the air. And he's going to essentially cast Storm Sphere at 5th level. But he wants to center it above himself and try to manipulate the weather with it to draw on, Risha's love of storms and things like that. And he would like to try, as he does this, with the blood still running down his chest, he'd like to try and pull his magic through the tattoos he does have finished on his body, to try to cast it at a higher level. Maybe like a 7th or 8th level spell, depending on what he'd be able to do. Not sure exactly.
So learning how to do the precision with the blade makes it, you are capable of essentially channeling through yourself with very high precision at this point, to overcast. So you can do that without a roll. But give me that second religion check. Oh no, scammer alert, scammer alert! Ban hammer.
Another 12. Uh-oh. Another 12.
Ha, unfortunate. So as you're doing it, Risha doesn't full-blown appear like she did when you created the massive storm, but you can see her silhouette, you can feel her presence, and although you cannot hear her words, you can understand the message she is trying to convey with them. And she starts by asking why you've called upon her.
I believe that I am the one who is meant to vanquish this warrior on the road, this who I know as a deity, posing as a mortal. There's no one else here with as much knowledge or capability as me, and there won't be for some time. And I think this threat needs to be ended before the end of my journey. I think this threat is important to my journey in order for me to reach the...
The response you get back through the general conveying of ideas is not a threat, an ally. Overcome his challenge.
Your will is my command. Can you merely but point the direction?
You see her turn, and you can tell the direction she's pointing is It's not angled to be on the high road itself, but it's far enough up that she is practically pointing directly down the road.
Okay. Wrath will nod and bow and say a prayer, a silent prayer to her of thanks and praising her generosity. And then a final vow of, I will complete my mission, before he starts to clean himself up and gather his things and allow the spell to run its course.
Okay. So over this 3 days, Wrath, for everything you described that you were doing outside of all this ritual stuff, you still would have been able to get in about 27 hours of reading, so 29 hours total. Good night. About 29 hours total out of the 48, and you're only on day 4, so you do have like 2 more days to try to cut through it.
That's 20 hours in 2 days. He's not, honestly, he would have done the math, and he's not going to be super invested in doing that. He's going to just let it expire.
Fair enough. Actually, a little piece of note, because day 1 was 2 hours, that 2 would fall off, and then you'd have 3 days to just do like 22 hours. It would be a whole extra day essentially for 2 hours.
Okay, I'll take that. So 25 hours?
Yeah, 27 hours, and you would be on day 3. So you'd have 3 days for 21 hours.
Okay, fair enough.
Pius, let's go back to you because you had 27 hours of free time during this several days.
Go to somebody else. I have an
Okay.
idea.
Alright, Tempest. With your 8 extra hours of free time, what do you want to do?
Who's not reading in the last 8 hours of my free time?
Everybody, basically. Captain is busy reading, but Twilight isn't, Pius isn't, Wrath is reading, but he's also doing things like checking in on all of you and stuff like that.
I'm gonna start drawing. I'm gonna stay by myself. I'm gonna continue to be by myself and just start drawing.
Alright. How about you, Twilight? What do you want to do with your extra 8 hours?
So, we can't just spend the whole time reading? Or can we? Or
You finished your book. There's still 8 hours.
I finished it? Oh my
Yes.
goodness! I finished it! Okay, yeah, that's where I was confused. I was like, wait a minute, what? Oh,
Yes,
whew.
you had 8 hours of free time after finishing your book.
And I don't have another book? I thought I had 2.
I need to go look at your character sheet.
I think I have 2 books.
Oh yeah, you do, because you got the new one, and then you had the one you had previously as well.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start on that.
Alright. So, Twilight book. 8 of 48 hours. Day 1. Okay, Nice.
How many hours did I get?
8 more out. You got 8 hours of the 48, so you have 40 more hours to get through after day 3.
Okay.
Nice. There's nobody else.
Okay. Pius is going to he's going to try and contact his patron.
Okay. Before we get into that scene, tell me what you think of and what you know of your patron. More, I want you to recap from your knowledge of your patron.
Definitely eldritch in nature, from what I understand. Pretty. It seems like they're
the patron is tied to connections to the other gods in some way, unless I've just misread that the entire time.
We'll get into it when we get past what you think of it, because this is also speculation time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really all because I don't think I've ever tried to contact them. I've mostly just been trying to contact gods, but I don't think I've ever tried to contact my patron. So Pius never really thought about it. He's more on the cleric side, where, yeah, he assumes they're eldritch in nature just from the name alone, and
What was this name?
what is it? The old one.
From the type of patron. Gotcha. The name of the type of patron. Okay. So there was one detail you do definitively know. After you saved Amy as she was pulled into you, that was when this power awakened. And when you use this power, your lights turn pink, just like Amy's.
Right.
So you sit down to have this meditation, though, to meet with your patron. And the picture I just sent, Amy pics for you, is essentially what your patron looks like, except just made from wisps of shadow. You aren't standing in the void, though. You are standing in what looks sort of like a Victorian-era city, where buildings and mounds have been made out of flesh and bone. And
Well,
there
this
is an individual
interesting.
standing next to your patron. They're a slightly short, about like 5.5 foot tall, elderly man in very dirty clothes. Not like the Hermit or even the representations of Titali, the deity. This one looked more like Captain if he were human. And wild and feral. And he kind of just turns to you. So can I know you?
I'm sorry, who are you?
Me Sook. Me Justin friend.
Sook. Why are you with my patron?
That's where patron live. I stuck here because Jackie is a jackass.
Oh, wait, you said Jack?
Huh. Yes, he turtle paladin. Me travel with him and Rera.
Do you happen to know someone named Chocolate Thunder?
Maybe other turtle I talked with at one point. Not remember well.
But you
We
thought
here
about
for
it,
many,
which
many
means it's a
thousand years.
possibility.
Yes,
So that means you might be from my timeline.
probably.
Very well. Sorry, I don't know if you know my name. My name is Pius. It's nice to meet you, Sook, but I was coming here to talk to my patron. I had no idea you would be here.
Just convenient, I guess. I remember Pius now. Pius, you and friends were in a cave. Yes. And you had the bed, and you are looking for dagger. Me speak to you then.
Oh, yes, that was you, wasn't it?
Yes. Me sometimes find hole out of this reality into other one.
Sook, is there any way you could stay inside of my head?
Real quick, I apologize. I just noticed I hadn't turned off that voice changer.
Yeah, I was
But
wondering about that, but
he
I
replies to
thought
you. He replies to you, asking,
Oh, no. Your head too small. Me too big for your head. Me have actual body.
Oh, I see. So you're not like a spirit. Or
No.
I guess, an entity.
We all entity, even people are entity. But
Well,
for what
yes.
you mean, no.
Okay, well, do you mind if I speak to my patron?
Oh, yes. Me give you an Amy's face.
Thank you. Wait, did you just say...
when you turn around, he's already kind of just gone.
Wait. Hold on. Okay. You mean to tell me that you...
And he points at the patron.
are Amy, Amygdala, the one that I once was and are right now?
I am Amy, her madness, the portion you saved her from.
Ah. I remember now. So, what is your goal? I suppose I should ask also our goal, now that you are... Well, I am working for you, essentially.
I grant you power because I know that it will allow you to complete your journey and stand at his feet.
Whose feet?
The forgotten ones.
You mean the forgotten deity?
Yes,
So that is... Okay, well that's a lot to take in. Well, okay. Oh, God. Okay,
I
here's
cannot
another question.
foresee. Proceed. I can speak.
So are you... This is where you live, right? Well, is this all connected to me, or are you inside of me like Amy is, or no?
This is
Sorry,
the
that was a
queen
loaded
of
question.
madness.
Oh,
This
that would
is the
explain the
nightmare's true
tapestry.
form.
Okay. What's in it for you?
I know many futures, but there is a point. It is not determined, and it is not known at the end of time. I want to see the Forgotten One returned and saved.
That doesn't seem too unreasonable. However, is the forgotten deity dangerous?
You've touched mere fragments of him, and it has devastated your minds. He is dangerous, but not of his own volition.
Ah, so he is the reason the torment fragments exist.
They are small pieces of the madness he endures, outside of time. Eternal.
So, who's responsible for the hope fragments?
This sister, his counterpart, Cosmos.
Wait. Shh. I see. Sorry. Sorry, I'm having a hard time concentrating. My dogs are howling like crazy. I'm over here giggling.
What are your dogs howling for?
My mother-in-law is visiting, and they are in love with her, and her and my wife just went out to grab some food, and they are having a serious fit. Anyway.
So his sister. What is her name?
Cosmos, the goddess of hope.
Fuck. Okay, well, I may need some time to process this. I assume you wouldn't tell me that anything that, would affect the future, I would assume.
There are only certain portions that cannot be changed. I can tell you much, but it doesn't mean it'll be that way when you actually get there.
Understandable. Time is a very vast, vague thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, this has been enlightening. I guess we'll keep in touch if I have any more questions.
I'll be here. Although, it may not be easy to call upon me one day, Deuce.
Why is that thing talking to me? I have no idea.
Everything kind of fades back as you start contemplating that, and you're back in your meditative position.
We're back to Mickey.
Well, that was weird. Amy.
He's gonna kind of shake it off and stand up and stretch, even though he doesn't have any muscles. He's gonna go punch a tree, test out his new strength.
All right, give me that to hit then.
How much? What did I gain from that book?
To clarify quickly, they are a +2 to the score and +2 to the maximum. So just +2 to the score.
Oh, that's sexy.
Yeah, it'll get
Okay.
you a +1 modifier for them. That's why they're such high rarity.
Mm-hmm. 23.
23. How thick of a tree were you going to go punch?
Just the closest one. An average thickness.
All right. Your modifier is a +8 now?
I
think.
Is it? Oh. You said 2 to the score. I thought you said 2 to the modifier.
No.
My fault.
You get a +1 modifier. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So that would be 9 damage on an unarmed strike. You impact it and you drive through and you watch as the bark and even part of the center of the tree kind of compresses, bends, and snaps outward to accommodate the new positioning as you put a dent in it about 3 inches deep.
Ooh, that feels nice. Oh, I can't wait to rip someone in half with this.
After that, he's going to just hang out around the fortress.
All right. So, we've covered everyone's time over that 3 days. It is now the morning of the 4th day. Nothing's happened over these days, the nights. It's been relaxing, soothing. And Captain is still strangely out of it.
How many books is everybody reading?
Everyone except you read like one book. You started reading your second book.
Is anybody else on the second book? Or no?
No one else has a second book.
Oh, okay. I would like to continue reading, but I don't know if we should start carrying on.
We got plenty of time.
I mean, I'm just so relaxed after what happened that it's just like, ugh. I really don't want it to end.
Well, you're more than welcome to stay here, but I'm getting that money.
Okay, let's go get the money.
Well, I mean, we've still got some time until that, but we are almost halfway there.
Okay, let's go get the money. Let's go.
Okay.
Alright, and so the journey down the road continues. Over the next... Hold on, my brain suddenly lost every number that I had inside of it. Even my age there
Okay,
for a
start
moment.
from one.
Jesus.
Start from 1.
Okay. Got my numbers. You take it kind of easy because Captain isn't exactly fully there. And... It's about 7 hours into your traveling on that 3rd day. You're getting kind of close to the end. And you've passed like all the road and where it was kind of fucked up from the explosion and such on the 1st day. And on this 3rd day of travel, you can feel out to the south. There is an extremely powerful presence. Pius, you in particular feel this presence. It's a presence you know very, very well. You can hear the cries of the undead, crying to be released from their agony.
Does anyone else hear that?
It's a cry of agony?
So you
Not just any
only
cry
feel
of
it.
agony. Oh, okay, my apologies.
Nah, Pius, you hear it, everyone else only feels this presence.
There's something close, but I can't
Yeah.
hear whatever it is you hear.
They're crying. Wailing, even.
I'm sensing a fear. I'm sensing it's fear, not crying or sad or something is frightening them.
Could possibly be me.
Yes, Bias, you're very scary, but I don't think it's you.
Well, let's go find out.
Okay, let's go find out.
So, as you all start heading into the forest, not knowing exactly which direction to go, Wrath, you kind of get a feeling to just hang back a little bit, so you kind of take the back of the line, and you're looking around as you tend to do, trying to make sure nothing's coming up, that there's no problems or for signs of anything. And you feel yourself kind of just walk into something. And when you look up, you see gray skin, jet black hair falling from the head. And the face isn't like it's undead, it's not decaying, it's just that color. And it's a very beautiful elven man's face, but he stands almost 2 feet higher, taller than you.
Excuse me. I didn't sense your approach, and Wrath is trying to say it loudly enough to where if the group is around him, they might hear him.
My ear will perk.
Your ear perks, but you don't actually hear anything.
Wrath, who are you talking to?
So, sorry, I'm trying to switch over voice mod here. None of you actually hear Wrath. Wrath, everything seems to be kind of almost stopped in slow motion around you. And
He speaks. I know you have a place to be. That's where I want you to go. I know you want to challenge.
I am not going to be able to understand anything you're saying.
God damn it.
It's not very good.
I hate this because they work just fine when I'm not on stream.
It's working, but the echo is too much.
Yeah.
It's overlaying itself, and it's blurring the words.
That is so painful because it's almost turned off. Like,
I heard the
eventually
word
I will
challenge,
figure it
but
out.
that was it.
Yeah, I did catch that word.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll do it without that mod. I know you have a place to be, and that's where I want you to go. I also know that you're looking to challenge me.
And who is this that said that? Out of game.
Spiritonus.
Spiritonus. It's lovely
right.
to meet you, finally.
Okay.
And Wrath will put a fist to palm as he says this and bow.
You see him take a sword, a great sword, made of pure shadow, and he just drives into the ground, and he reciprocates the bow. This is why I wanted to challenge you.
The feeling is mutual, I believe. If you'll allow me, and he'll start to pull off his pack and everything that might weigh him down during this. And he'll go as far as to remove any extra clothing that is not part of his ensemble that helps him, if you will. And eventually he draws the sword and sets the sheath to the side and kind of holds it to his side and looks at Spiritonus. I'm unfortunately unfamiliar with a lot of the customs for those who worship you. I don't know if there's a particular way you care to start or if I need to actually challenge you.
My followers, their methods are their own. I do not decree anything of my followers. But at this moment, I'll have to decline your challenge. 2 of your allies prove to the whole world that necromancy is not inherently evil. That problem up the road needs dealt with, though. The man who did it, he is quite evil. Once you deal with all that, then we can have our challenge. I just wanted to make sure you knew the way first. He reaches a hand out and sets it on your head, and you get images of, through the eyes of another, traveling through the forest, and you get this exacting path that eventually leads to a tower, one that you have seen before on the Highroad. And then the vision ends, and he pulls his hand off. Once you feel you've sufficiently dealt with that, just call my name, and then we can fight.
Thank you. Your guidance is most appreciated. I look forward to ending this fool's life. Is this the same one who attempted to bring Vecna here?
Well, you could say that man is the cause of this, but no. The man who caused this particular issue, I believe his surname was Goldrudder.
I'm familiar with the name. Thank you again. This knowledge is invaluable. You'll be hearing from me very soon.
Good. I expect mighty deeds from you.
And Raph will sheath the blade and then hold it up, then bow once again while holding one hand on the handle, or the hilt, and the other on the sheath. And then he'll tie it back to his side and get his gear back.
As you come back up from that bow, he's gone and everything's kind of returned to normal. The rest of you...
You're back, Vicky.
I'm not squeaky, it's called a female voice, sir.
Oh, okay.
It's done on purpose.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All good, all good. But the rest of you have noticed that Wrath fell behind, so as you turn around and look, though, you see him in that bow as he starts to stand back up straight.
Wrath, are you okay?
I am, and I believe I have a heading. I was in communion. I apologize for doing it at such an inappropriate time. However, Spiritonus was eager for the future to play out. Do you all remember a tower on the Highroad that we passed? In it was a book, vial, full of darkness.
Oh, wrong tower. That was a fort. The tower you encountered was where you found Orisha's artifacts.
Oh, okay. My bad. Do you remember a tower?
Whoa, how did you do that? No, I'm sorry.
You know how some wizards have time stop? I have rewind the cassette. The tower where we found the first artifacts on our journey.
Yes. The strange one. The strange tower.
A reminder for anyone who doesn't remember, it had levers that made it wider, thinner, taller, shorter.
Yes, that one.
The one with the wizard that Nick was not so impressed with.
Ah, yeah.
In fact, actually. And I reach in my bag, and if I'm not mistaken, I have Fundamentals. I pull out a book with the title Fundamentals of Magic, and inside of it, as he opens it up and flips through, there's connotation, and it's by Wilfred Goldrudder. It appears he has left a little bit more behind that we will probably have to deal with, and I know the way to it.
Okay. Then let's head that way then.
Wrath looks at Tempest and Twilight. Are you on board?
I have no objections.
Very well. I will lead the way if you'll allow me. And he'll
Yeah, go ahead.
pull out his pipe of smoke monsters and light it and puff it as he walks.
All right.
Pies follows.
It does take you close to an hour from when you left the road to when you actually get there. And when you get there, all of you can see this tower. You had left it at like 2 floors of height when you left it. It's back up at that full 5 at the moment.
It seems someone has been here. Likely who we're here to face. I do want to preface, before we go in, and say Spiritonus indicated that this person, this being, was evil, and did not mince words about it. So, I will not be hesitating in the coming delve.
Pius, you would clearly remember when Pixie stayed behind and Twilight joined all of you in that cave. You had encountered the body of Wilfred Goldrunner, who was mid-process of becoming a witch. And yes, he was wearing the robe of the Archmagi, evil, so it's very much in line with that.
Well, at least we know who we're facing.
It may not be Wilfred themselves, but instead something he left behind, or someone he left behind. So, just be prepared.
You have my club, Wrath. We'll do this together.
Thank you.
Oh, Captain, hello. I wasn't expecting you to show up. Captain, suddenly,
I just decided to pop up.
Yeah, Captain just suddenly is like focused again.
I was like somewhere off in a deep, dark pit of despair, and then I decided to come back.
Join the club.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
Right?
Once you
Those are
get
the
used to them.
things.
I run up and give him a hug.
Yeah, I'll be back, lad.
So,
Because you hug back.
So a quick recap for Captain here. We started up, finished Pius's night. Then you guys spent 3 days sitting around reading, so your book is done. You managed to read all of your book in that 3 days, Captain. One, it increases the ability score.
I can read.
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah.
Mechanically, yes. But that was done.
I didn't know that.
Travel back onto the road. Another 3 days of travel occurred before getting the sense that something was wrong off the road. Walked this way, and currently you are all standing in front of a tower, a familiar tower. The tower you ran across at the beginning of the high road, where you had gotten Risha's artifacts way back when. The tower is standing before you now at this point on the road, though. And Wrath was just warning everyone to be on their guard because it could be Wilfred Goldrudder is here or some entity or person he left behind.
Ah. Guard Flares, he just goes right up to it, and he goes pisses on the tower.
Well, that's one way to start this fight.
If you got something to say, you say it to me straight. You don't go behind the tower. Yeah.
And that's when the tower just opens up and goes to bite you because it's a mimic. No, I'm joking.
No, me dick. Ah.
Pice is going to walk up to the door.
Okay. It doesn't seem any different than the last time you were there. The door is ajar, just like an inch open, swinging inwards to the room.
Okay.
The lights are also on at full brightness. So on this first floor, just like last time, there are tables, bookshelves, books scattered all over the place, random notes and sheets of paper as well. And the secret hatch that you had unlocked previously appears to be closed and locked again.
This is cool.
Wrath is going to go and start just perusing through the notes and papers to see if anything is different.
So you hadn't necessarily spent a lot of time looking through it before, and for the most part, you had all been the searches that were done were more about the books than the notes, so to speak. And a lot of the notes, just without context, didn't make sense. But now that you're seeing them in this particular situation, you can tell that a lot of them are talking about different areas where he was performing experiments. And based on how some of the notes are, there should be a cave system nearby, as well as a cellar that he was performing experiments in, and a nearby building as well.
I relay that to the group. Did anyone see anything on the way up? Anything separate from this?
I don't think so.
Not I.
Not that I know of.
Perhaps if we find the cellar, then.
Yes. Actually, let me try something.
Be my guess.
Hello! Is anyone there?
Hello!
We be here. Where are you?
So
We just want to talk.
Yes, talk. Absolutely,
you shout
that's what we
out.
want to do.
You shout out into the ether, and by share attunement with the undead, you can feel the cries of them off in the distance, even further into the forest. Only about like 400 or 500 yards. The trees have been too dense to see that far before, but you have a general heading that direction. But all of you can hear from under the floor the roar of a powerful and very large dragon.
And we hear this
Sounds like a
underneath the
weasel.
floor.
Yeah, all of you can hear that coming up through the floor.
Oh.
Sufficiently pissed off. I like it.
Well, at least we know where it's at now.
Aye.
Should we go in and just try to, fight, or should we, kind of maybe talk to it and see what it wants?
Well, if I've learned anything from dragons, they don't really like to talk.
No.
Excuse me.
You gotta show them through force.
Yes, sorry, Beth. I'm into actual Damn, I'm fucking this up. Okay.
Wow.
Let me start my 3-part apology by saying you're an amazing dragon person. Second thing.
Wrath pats you on the shoulder. It's okay, Pius. It's okay.
Oh.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay, thank God. I was literally panicking really bad. Because you're really the only person in the group that can possibly kill me. So,
Wait. Yeah, what am I? Chopped liver.
Yeah,
would you like to test that theory?
Aye.
possibly.
So,
I think
Wrath, you can't help
maybe
but
we
notice
should
while having
duel.
this conversation that on the table, there's also a book about like giants' anatomy and physiology, as well as a book on dragons and their anatomy and physiology.
Man, they got huge dicks.
That doesn't say that anywhere in here, Captain. Where did you see that?
It's on right here on page 52.
Someone drew that in with permanent marker. This was not in the original print.
Captain, is that a marker in your hand?
Hey, you got there somewhere. I was just trying to help him along.
Wow.
You see, it's really big right there. See? Huge dicks. If you chop them off, they're gonna hurt.
Oh,
Not in
Captain.
time for wishful thinking.
Captain, this is a girl. I don't see a dick on this one. You're
Well.
drawing a dick on a female.
Well, sometimes maybe females do have dicks. You can't judge.
I think we're getting off
Laughs and
topic here.
trans.
Okay,
listen.
all right.
Okay, enough about dragon dicks. There's got to be a correlation here.
Flowers, while you're at it, just draw a couple of boobs on it.
I can draw boobs too.
There you go.
Perfect.
Oh,
Make a big,
nine
nice, big
hells.
honker balloon.
Oh yeah, there you go. As you were
Nice,
saying,
nice Dariolas right there, yeah.
Wrath.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was actually paying attention to the things around us.
No, yes, of course. So, I'm gonna go check upstairs.
the dragon's downstairs.
Yes, but I don't want to talk to the dragon.
I'll do it.
Oh. Okay.
Doesn't hurt to try.
Hey.
First, we have to figure out how to get there.
To get to the dragon?
Well,
Well, we can't eat it right now, so we have to get to it.
How did we open that latch before? I forgot.
I did too, that's the problem.
So, I will make you guys go through the puzzle again. All of your characters, most of your characters at least, are fairly high intelligence. You would remember the process of which levers to move, how to put them in line. The second and fourth floor having the circles for the elements and how to align those as well. So you are able to recreate the puzzle. And when you go back downstairs and you look into the now open hatch, there's no ladder or way to go down, and it drops nearly 100 feet. But you can see the bars for large cells and creatures in each one of them. And down the hallway of this room, about a third of the way in and about 2/3 of the way in, you see large pentagrams, ritual circles, drawn onto the floor. You can't tell what they're made of at this distance, but you can tell that to the northwest, the direction that the hallway goes, is where the door is, which would be on the back side of the tower.
Yeah, totally normal.
Or we can just kind of, I got my, mold earth, and I can just mold the earth around of the,
Or we could just not waste a spell slot, since we know how to do this.
Okay, alright, fine. Take all the fun away from me.
Well, okay.
Right. So, I'll talk to the dragon, and we'll go from there. Is that the plan?
Yes.
I can't wait for some dragon meat. If this doesn't work out, I mean.
Rat gives you a side eye.
Not you. The big one.
He's still staring.
That's kind of insensitive, Captain.
What? Are y'all saying that I can't eat anything I just want?
No,
Yes.
just I mean,
Yes,
rat is
actually.
kind of well,
No,
yes, kind
hold
of.
on. You can't. You just can't eat anything you want. I mean, if you wanted to eat something you literally couldn't eat, then yes, that is how it works.
And plus,
If I wanted to eat
rat-
the stone right now, I would.
I dare you.
Do it.
Kevlar just picks up a rock, he starts crushing on it.
Oh my god!
I can hear his teeth.
Unbeknownst to everybody else, Door's bodies are built to eat rock. So he actually does just eat the rock like it's normal food.
Holy sweet gods above.
Fuck the gods.
Captain, if you ever eat me, I hope you die of indigestion.
I wouldn't eat you. My God. I wouldn't eat my
Whoa,
friends.
whoa. If we're eating any party members, I get first dibs.
Hey. No. I avoid this. Because I know I'm going first.
That's right, because you're a
Exactly.
vegetarian.
Yes, we have to eat the vegetarian first. You're right.
Always start with the salad.
We'll get like
I-
protein from that. I don't know.
Oh,
As fun as this conversation is, there are some pretty big problems down there. How are we actually going to get down there?
Do you want to jump and then tell us if it hurts when you land?
yeah, we can throw him down there.
Yes, we can throw you down there.
Yep.
No,
Preferably not.
I was giving him an option. I wasn't going to actually throw him down there.
Oh, okay, I guess I gotta put him down.
I don't think you could, even if you tried. I'm kind of immortal.
Just like old
Can't really
Lair.
put me down.
No. I mean, I had you in arms. So, well, let's throw him down. I kind of just picked you up and you said no. I put you back down.
Okay. Does anyone have featherfall?
I look at my wings going, yeah, I do. My feathers fall out all the time.
Does anyone else have featherfall?
Alright.
That does beg the question of getting back up, however.
I do. Yep.
Okay,
Go
that's...
that route.
Yes. True.
How much rope do we have?
How much rope do you need?
A lot of rope, I think.
So we send down the latest.
That'd be the vegetarian.
So between all of you, you definitely have a few 100 feet of rope. Just because it comes in everyone's
49
starter kit.
How far down is it? It's just like pitch black, or?
It's not pitch black. It is dim lighting, so you can't make out a lot of what's down there, but you're estimating probably around 100 feet.
I have 49 feet. I'm not sure where I cut off the other foot, but at some point I must have.
Okay. I should have some as well. Here we go. Wait, I don't think I actually do. It's not
Yeah,
in
no,
my
it's
bag.
Quite a bit of our rope is the thing.
Yeah.
How far is it down? Let me see here. Carry the 1, divide by the 2. Times 3. Your math wasn't my greatest subject.
We need another 50 feet.
I have 150.
I have my rope and mending.
That works too. How long is that?
50 feet.
Alright. Maybe we put that at the top so that nobody can just cut it, right? Can you just cut that?
Well, if we cut it, it will grow back.
Yeah, the rope mending will fix itself if it's cut up.
Alright. Well, yeah, we use that to anchor. That way we don't risk not being able to get back up because someone cut it up here.
Hey, good idea.
Alright. And Wrath will start tying rope together.
Well, actually, I have an idea. What if I stay up here and make sure that no one cuts the rope, and you all go down there? And then if you need me, just yell or something.
What would be the code word?
Banana.
Tom Cruise.
Tom
banana.
Cruise. Alright. He does his own stunts,
Yes, it's very impressive from what I've heard.
Aye.
Is something wrong, Pius?
No.
Wrath kind of looks you over. Does he get a sense of if anything is wrong?
Roll an insight.
That's a 9.
What would I roll against that?
Either
Perform?
deception or persuasion,
So-
typically.
Deception.
Or
So since it
persuasion,
is,
Hmm.
since it's kind of trying to map out generally how you are, not a truth or a lie or anything, it would be persuasion. Unless something in there was deception that I'm not aware of, in which case roll deception.
No, he's just trying to Yeah, you rolled a 25. You have no idea.
All right, go back to time.
You got no clue.
Just making sure. Looking out.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm fine.
All right. Well, time to see what a dragon has to say. Yes. And Wrath will drop the end of the rope down the thing.
Alright. No rules needed either. You're able to climb down there safely.
Okay. And
So you kind of come down in the middle of. I need to send a picture.
You need some what?
I need to send a picture of this room, of the map. Because there is a map. There are several maps for this area.
Oh dear.
This is an entire dungeon.
Great.
It's so fun.
The tower and this area are 1/3 of the areas. There are 6 of them in total.
Okay.
Obviously, in game, you'll be given clues and such as to the others, their locations and such.
So where's our starting point?
You are in the dead center of this room.
And
In
this room
between
looks
the
like a
2 pentagrams.
this is like a hallway. Is that walls on the line?
Yeah, so. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each of those are a room. And then you're in the hallway there in the center. You are starting between the 2 ritual circles drawn onto the map.
I step into the ritual circle.
I don't stop her.
Go ahead and roll me a constitution save.
I am paying attention to what it does.
Uh-huh.
Big notes.
Yep.
25. You're good. So you notice it light up. And being closer, you can tell that these circles are both drawn in blood. But the blood itself lights up with a red glow as the energies kind of start to envelop Twilight, who's standing in the center currently. And you see the hairs on her arms start to just turn to stone. She manages to shrug it off, though, and just kind of stands there as it all dissipates. And you see the hairs that have been petrified kind of just break and fall off of her arm.
That's some
Yeah,
hell
it's
in
totally
air.
normal.
Which you went to the top one or the bottom one? Star.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Did you lose her?
Did you go up? Or
No, I'm
down?
good. I'm here.
He's gone.
Did you go to the one up or the one down?
Me?
Yes. Which ritual circle did you walk into? The one up or the one down?
Asking.
The one down.
Alright.
I'm gonna.
And you all do notice that on the north side of the map there, that there is a door leading out of this room.
I
It
noticed
is
it too.
currently closed. Yes.
I'm gonna go inspect the circle that she is standing in to see if it's retaining any kind of magic.
Roll an Arcana check for me real quick. DC 13.
So I got a natural 1. Can I
Uh-huh.
use my magical guidance to spend a sorcery point and reroll?
Absolutely.
Sorcery. Oh, I have so many that it's no longer boxes. It's just a counter. Okay. Roll. Wow, 13.
13. That's good. You hit the DC. That definitely still has magic in it. You can tell from like the spot she's standing and the designs in there, it's designed to draw in the magical energy in the air to recharge itself.
Interesting.
Sorry, I don't know. Was someone talking?
There was for a moment there's some talking, yes. Now these rooms, all except for number 6, they are cells. So they're bars and you can't see into them. And you've been in there long enough that the cell number 3, that room to your side, that is where this dragon is.
And he chooses to speak up at this point.
You don't look like Wilfred's people.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't notice you there, and I'm saying all of this in Draconic. We are not with the Gold Rudder. In fact, we're trying to put an end to his sick experiments.
Good luck with that. For the most part, I believe you can only free us into the world.
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
For the most part, you can only free us into the world. As you're actually looking at him, you can't even tell what color dragon he should be because his flesh is just torn up and falling off. You can tell that this is a Draco Lich.
You don't look very tasty.
Well, I don't think that was in our idea of what we were trying to accomplish. I may have a better answer for you if you wish to be rid of his curse.
And what might that be?
And Wrath will slowly reach into his pack, where he has... Hold on, make sure they're in here. The 3 Christmas Hope Fragments, unless they have disappeared by now.
No, you still have them.
Okay. With enough of this power, I think we may be able to put you to rest.
Perhaps. But what makes you think I want to rest? I wish for freedom.
Freedom?
The problem is, we cannot allow it. So, we have options. And at this point, Wrath is going to activate the Sending Stone and think to Pius upstairs, this might be about to get ugly.
I'm on my way.
Like Tom Cruise.
So, you've had a moment here to kind of look around. In cell 1, you see what appears to be a storm giant. His flesh is very discolored and unnatural. He's missing an eye. He just looks like a 22-foot tall zombie in this massive cell. In cell number 2, you see what appears to be a giant snake currently wrapped up in one of the corners. In cell 4, you see a bunch of those cockatrices that you faced off with before. They look the same as the cockaliches. And in cell 5, you see a looming 15-foot tall figure. Pitch black skin. Every one of its limbs seems to be gnarled and misshapen, curving out and then back in places it shouldn't. Its limbs, its fingers and toes all end in massive claws. They seem to be jagged and broken. It has 2 almost antler-like horns coming out of its head, and its eyes are just a glassy black. And it's standing there drooling and just breathing heavily.
And I noticed this too.
Yes, all of you do.
It's a bit disturbing.
And what is separating us from these? Is it bars? Is it walls?
They are vertical steel bars, like a prison cell. They're each about like 4 inches thick, and there's about a 4 or 5 inch gap between each bar. There are no horizontal bars, and each of the cells are divided by just more barred walls. Room 6 down there, on the other hand, has an actual stone wall on each side.
Since I'm kind of still in the circle, I think I have a hope fragment, right?
I believe so.
So I'm gonna pull out my hope fragment and just put it right in the middle, and then I'm gonna step out.
It doesn't seem to do anything.
I just pick it back up and go, well, that didn't work.
Make another Constitution save when you step back in the circle.
Oh, okay, I gotta get my... Yeah.
Constitution saving throw. I'm gonna keep it, or are you gonna use point of lucky?
I'll lucky it.
Okay.
I guess 11 is it.
All of you are kind of doing your thing. Pious, you're starting to climb down, knowing that could be trouble. And Rath, you're looking around the room and you're finishing that discussion with the dragon. And you see Twilight step out and then step back in. The magic reigniting. And this time, what you're seeing is her skin, her clothes. You can see it creeping up from her fingertips and the toes of her shoes up her body towards her core, slowly, as she is locked in place by the magic.
Hey, it's not good.
Why does shit always happen to me?
Because you're a vegetarian.
You're literally walking into and out of something we just determined was a trap and could reactivate.
I was getting the hope fragment, so I just left it there. I just wanted to see what was happening.
You don't think maybe using something to pull it out of it might have been a better idea to start with instead of just walking back in?
Like this mechanical hand I made for such occasions.
Let's go ahead and take a break real quick. Yeah, basically you guys are having this conversation as she's transforming. It takes about 30 seconds, and her head is the last part that petrifies.
I knew it.
To just yank her out of it before we go to break.
So you managed to pull her out.
Specifically.
Okay, and she's petrified to a point that, yeah, she can't even resist it. So you get her and you yank her out, but the petrification doesn't start to undo. Her arms, her legs, and a few inches into her torso from where they connect has already been petrified. Yeah, so you have just saved Twilight from the petrification circle. You do notice that although it's mostly stopped, it seems to be creeping up extremely slowly, like a quarter of an inch every 30 seconds.
I don't have a way to stop this.
Well, this is not a good predicament to be in.
Not the best, no.
Such a simple trap, too. You know, Wilfred has things stashed all over this area. He may have something that'll help. But I'm hesitant to give you any information if you're not going to let me out of this cage.
How about we just eat you instead? How about that?
You belong
in my...
No, don't test me. So if you want some help, we want some help. How about we make a deal?
No deals. We either leave it there or kill it.
Oh, and what about Twilight then?
If robots could have a serious look on their face, Pius would have that look right now.
I don't know why I'm saying this, but if I had to choose between letting that dragon out and Twilight dying, I would not let that dragon out.
I don't think she's dying. She's being petrified.
Oh.
I hope you all realize that if we're what's kept right in the front, that means the things in the back are even worse.
Err.
The creepy dragon has a point.
The turkey dragon.
Creepy dragon, Captain.
No.
Stay with me.
Sorry, I was just imagining it being in a giant oven as I'm cooking it.
The dragon's only point is it wants to get out of here. He'll say anything, do anything to make that happen.
Err.
That doesn't mean I have to lie, though.
Doesn't mean you have to tell the truth either.
Fair assessment is expected from my kin.
Wrath will turn to the group. I don't trust it. It's no longer a dragon, nor is it no longer alive. But I don't know what to do about this, and he'll gesture to Twilight.
Hold on.
I give you an olive branch. Normally, to get down here, one would use the stairs. Requires a special type of key. These traps have a password. Things you should be able to find upstairs. And when you do, you should be able to access that little room in the corner and what's his main study, at least in the tower.
One of
Let's
us,
see.
or a couple of us, should go verify this.
Aye.
I'll stay here with Twilight.
Okay.
It's gonna be hard getting her back up there anyway, in this form.
Okay.
Let's go, Pius.
All right.
Starts climbing up up the rope.
Yeah, you're climbing first.
All right then.
Is Captain staying down with me? Or are you going up with them?
I'll just be staying down here with you.
You see Wrath kind of walk up to the bars where this dragon is being played with as they start to climb up. And he's just going to tap them to just kind of feel their strength with his claw.
They do seem to be stronger than your average, like, prison cells that humans make. They're made from a metal at least as strong as adamantine. But more specifically, when you tap them, you can hear the hum of magic from them.
As I thought. Captain, these cages are magically bound. More than likely to keep things in, but it also could be to keep things out. Be careful.
Aye. We have to keep an eye out anyways.
The dragon lets out a chuckle, and you see him kind of pull his head back so that there's some distance between it and the bars. And Rav, you know this movement through the throat and mouth all too well. It's the same that happens when you unleash a lightning breath attack. Did you see the fire start to form in his mouth before it just dissipates into nothing?
He keeps you powerless. A sad fate. I do regret that we can't allow you freedom.
I wouldn't say powerless, but most certainly less powerful.
You see him decide, he just drives his talons, or his claws, into the stone below him. And when he pulls them back up, he's clearly dealt damage, but you also see the floor kind of start to reform, as if there's just an automatic mending spell enchanted on the stone.
Quite something.
Something that adds up to nothing unless he can get out of there.
Ner.
Like I said,
Precisely.
powerless.
Well, Wilfred should still be assuming he's alive somewhere. But he was an archmage. Should expect power from someone like that.
Without a doubt.
Wrath kind of chuckles and doesn't say anything further. He just turns his back to the dragon and keeps an eye on the room around them.
For those of you that have gone upstairs to search, how will you begin your search?
Surely. I don't know. Start at the highest point that we can go to and then work our way down, maybe.
Okay. So you head up to the 5th floor, and you see the levers on the back wall, as before. The bookshelves that made a circle in the center. When you left them, one of them had been pulled out so Rat could get in there and get the artifacts. But that bookshelf has been put back into line. There are tons of books lining all of them, and there is a desk covered in notes, quills, and other basic, like, writing utensils, things you would use to study.
I'm
Oh,
gonna start there.
Alright, go ahead and give me an investigation check through that table.
Ten.
You don't necessarily find anything of, like, great importance. You're not really looking through the papers much, like what's written on them. But there is one that catches your eye, just the little bit you read in passing drew your eyes back to it for a moment. And for whatever reason, he's got this page of notes on the legend of Excalibur.
How would he know that? Wait, that...
For reference, Excalibur is a legend in Maluviette.
Okay.
Interesting. Tempest, have you ever heard of Excalibur?
yeah, I mean, plenty of stories that have it.
I don't think it's a complete myth. There might be truth to it.
Seriously? I'm usually
Possibly.
the one that geeks out with stories, but you? It's a little different.
Well, I mean, there is an undead dragon in the basement.
Yeah, but that's more or less normal.
What I'm trying to say is it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm sure you'll be wielding it one day.
No, I don't really want it.
Wow. Guess ain't that special.
I'm more of a bone crusher kind of person.
Bone crushing. That sounds fun. Focus, anyway.
Right.
Out
Have
of
you
game,
found... sorry, what?
out of game, I'm going to be honest. I know we're looking up here. I missed completely what it is we're even looking for.
You are looking for some type of key that opens the path to the cellar of the staircase. The password that neutralizes those ritual circles, and the means to open Wilfred's study down there with the cells.
Okay, yeah, back to the pious. What was that?
Sorry, have you... have you found anything yet?
No, just a lot of books, a lot of papers. I
We
guess
can
just
start...
start looking at these.
yeah, that might be helpful.
I'll browse this side.
Okay, I will browse the rest.
Words. God, so many words.
So, you spend a solid half hour or so kind of just quickly looking over like book titles and just quick scanning the various notes on the desk. And other than that one page about the legend of Excalibur, all of this seems to be mostly medical information. Anatomy of different races, species, animals, even the anatomy of mind flayers. Like there's an entire book just on them, the different forms they can take, like the elder brain, the tadpoles, and their various anatomies as well.
Pious!
Yes?
I didn't find anything important to the situation, but these could be so good.
Mind flayers?
That'd be cool to fight one, right?
Yes, if you would like your mind ripped in half, yes.
I think the key is to not have one to begin with.
Maybe they wouldn't be able to affect me? Well-
We'll test that in the future.
Well, actually, we do all have Ring of Mind shielding, so... I guess that would be a pretty trivial fight.
Ooh. Totally forgot about the need of mind shielding.
Yes. Well, I suppose we could hang on to those in case we ever do run into one, or know that one is coming up. We could at least figure out what their weaknesses are.
Yeah, could be beneficial. I'm gonna store this away. Like, yeah, I don't see anything like a key or anything important.
I
Pius,
feel like it's going to be hidden.
Pius, with your insight and having seen all of these various medical books, as well as having seen a variety of types of creatures down below, you assume that a lot of this was research into how to make various undead from various creatures. Creating new undead that have never even been seen before. That's likely the reason he has all these books.
This is much worse than I thought. Either he was trying to... What was he trying to do? Why would you need different races? It almost seems like he wants to recreate the entire world into an undead paradise.
There's a war with angels and demons coming, right? Once this land is scarred, he's gonna have a whole just society to create himself.
Possibly, yes. We may have to prevent that. As well as the war.
Agreed. Or if we ever get bored, we could just stab him with the dagger. I'm sure that could end it quickly.
No, I've seen this behavior before.
Don't give me those Now you're starting to sound like Wrath.
I'm not... This is... I've seen all this before.
Pius,
I remember
I would
this.
like you to roll a wisdom save. This is versus fear. The DC is 21.
Oh. Okay, I do that. Wisdom save. 29.
Good. So, having explored this room, you are having this conversation, but you know that you kind of need to move on, so you started moving down to the 4th floor from the 5th. And as you approach the threshold of the stairs, a ghostly figure just shoots through the wall at you, and you recognize the face instantly. Hagrid's face is burned into your mind, a memory that you're pretty sure, even with all the other problems your mind has, you will never forget that face. And it flies through you before disappearing. But you manage to retain your composure through that moment.
Did Tempest see this?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Pius isn't going to say anything. Just going to continue walking.
Shuffle.
So the 4th floor it has a couple of desks and like one bookcase. There's not a lot on this floor besides the giant circle of the elements, the one that you could spin to adjust.
Seems like nothing is in this room. We've done this before.
You have?
Were you not? No, you weren't. Were you?
No. Tempest was not with you guys yet when you came to this tower the first time.
Yes, we,
Wait, yes she was, because you took a book. I remember which book. You took the history of Maluviette.
Yes, we've done this puzzle before.
Ugh.
Twilight, you're lighting up, but I'm not hearing you.
Huh?
There we go. Now I hear you. Welcome back.
Thank you. So what's up?
Right now, Pius and Tempest are doing a search for stuff. While you are still petrifying down below with Wrath and Captain. So Pius, Tempest, you remember the book, you start to remember the tower, vaguely.
And you said I'm the one that grabbed it?
Yes, you took a book, History of Maluviette. You had read a passage, out loud in fact, about two adventurers, Jack and Rera.
Oh yeah, I remember this place. I got this book. Wow, it's dusty. I forgot about it.
Yes.
Still doesn't help us find what we need to, though.
All right, let's go to the next floor down.
Sure thing. Pius, I think you're going to need a reboot soon.
No, I'm fine. Just, focused.
So when you come onto the landing for the third floor and start looking around, you notice that all of the bookshelves are just empty. That originally when you'd come here, the shelves were lined with illusory books, but the book that Raph pulled out earlier happens to be the one real book that was on this floor. The bookshelves still seem to be barren of anything, though.
I want to wave my hand through the bookshelves to make sure they're not invisible books.
No, you're fine. But the bookshelves are real. You do make contact with the shelves themselves.
Can confirm. Would.
Well, what in the hell? Goddamn liches.
I'm starting to think that we're just kind of running around. Start breaking shit.
I would like that. But let's continue down to the next floor first.
Okay.
So the
we
second
hear
floor is a
them?
lot like... No, you don't hear any of this. So the second floor, though, is a lot like the fourth floor. There's one desk on the other side of the room from where the stairs are. It's got, some scattered papers and such, but there are like 5-6 bookcases over there as well.
Time to start reading again.
Yeah.
Wait, investigation checks.
Oh, those aren't good.
Tempest, with your 5, you actually find a dead mouse.
I'm gonna look around to make sure no one's watching before I eat it.
Pius is
Far too
involved with what he sees, so he doesn't notice what you're doing.
I didn't find anything.
Pius, as you're going through the notes on the desk, you start to realize there's a little bit of a pattern. Each floor seems to have kind of a set thing that the information is. Up on the 5th floor was just all like anatomy and physiology. The 4th floor you didn't really go through, so you're not sure there. The 3rd floor literally had one book in it previously, so the information it contained was the information on how to solve the puzzle. And this floor happens to be just completely necromancy. The various necromancy spells, the way that healing is in many cases derived from necromancy or an altered form of it, the study of it, the calculations, various textbooks describing theories about how necromancy could be used, so on and so forth. But there's one frickin' thing out of place. There's an entire thesis that Wilfred has written about Excalibur.
There's Excalibur again. What is the purpose of Excalibur for necromancy? It doesn't make any sense. Clearly, he went mad, right?
So, to continue what you noticed about this trend in information, the first floor, although there were a couple of random books about like physiology and stuff, it looks like they had just been misplaced more than anything. But the first floor contained a lot of books about history and mythology.
All right, time to check the history section.
Ooh, wait.
What?
My bracers. My history bracers. I might be able to figure something out with this.
Well, holy shit! Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to try and channel through
Channel
the
your inner
bracers.
history mood.
Yes.
Which topic?
Excalibur.
Excalibur. Excalibur.
Not that Excalibur. Actually, you know what? Maybe that Excalibur. You guys aren't fighting Excalibur in this campaign, so it might be that one.
And you can drive anybody crazy, be Excalibur.
Just waiting on the history roll.
Oh, my apologies. Wow. 17.
So, this knowledge kind of comes through fragmented memories. You've spent a lot of time around Hackwood in the past. You've spent time around Nick. Ow, my throat. And you, although you don't really remember, you can surmise you spent a lot of time around Dr. Rifle as well. And something that seems to be very common amongst wizards is to study things outside of their field to find ways that they can connect or inspiration for new things within their field. And Excalibur is a very commonly discussed thing amongst wizards because Excalibur is said to be able to cleave mountains in half, that it radiates a light that instantly can destroy evil, that it is capable of granting life to anything, even things that weren't alive to start. And amongst all of this, there's a theory that if Excalibur were to exist, that as far as the realm of which school of magic it would be derived from, it would probably be necromancy. Because necromancy is capable of destroying things, it is capable of bringing back the dead, it is capable of mutating the way people think. Necromancy can do just about everything at its core if applied correctly.
I believe our lich friend has been busy.
Oh,
The theories of this, the Excalibur, could be used for just about anything, including necromancy.
that sounds like it could be devastating. But the chances are pretty low he'd ever even get something like that.
They're low, but not zero. It's something we should keep in mind, at least. A blade of that power could do anything. But, then again, to contradict my own theory, if he had it, we wouldn't be trying to figure this out. Everything would just be dead anyway.
Let's share this with everybody on our next downtime.
Yeah.
So, you guys have spent about an hour searching for so far. So down on any experiment cells, Wrath, Captain, you've got a solid hour here to work with. And Twilight, your mouth and ears still work. Your head is not petrified yet.
Flyers has been, examining the Twilight slowly becoming into a statue and slowly making measurements and just writing some things down. And he's checking against a couple things that he might, think about, like a history check. Because, Gorgons, they use, things of this sort too to turn people into, stone. So he's trying to think.
Okay, go ahead and give me a history check. to think of any historical knowledge involving petrification. Rouse, how about you?
It's not bad.
I don't really know. Wrath is kind of just watching. He watches around them for a time. When nothing happens after 30 minutes or so, he goes to just watching the Draco Lich, just staring at him.
Twilight, as you are slowly being turned to stone, very, very slowly being turned to stone, is there anything you try to say, think, etc.?
Huh?
As you are slowly being turned to stone, is there anything you think about or say?
I can mold earth on myself.
You don't have the hands to do it.
Everyone on that history check.
What was it?
21.
21?
What about my
Twilight,
wings?
think about it.
Does my wings hurt?
Do you what?
Wings?
No, your wings have also petrified. The petrification started at the end of your extremities and moved in. 21? You've heard of a lot of different ways, through mythology, like just various mythologies, as well as actual, more proven scientific documentation. There's, of course, things like a golden needle can allegedly end petrification. But most importantly is that there are fairly commonplace potions actually made to end petrification.
Sure.
And they're not terribly expensive typically. They're easy to make. They only require like a few agents, not even complicated ones to find. It's not like you need a cockatrice feather or something.
I may know of a few ways to help her out. It's gonna take some time.
Well, is that possible to do here, or do you think we'll have to get her out?
I'm pretty sure we might be able to have to get her out of here for me to be able to work on some things.
That might get difficult, but if that's
Aye.
the route we end up having to go, yeah.
Well, of course, you know, I can always put her in a bag of holding and just drag her up.
That's true, I guess. She does have that body bag one.
Aye.
Well, you got anything to say to being thrown in a bag of holding?
Let's see. I've been waiting for my phone to load. Okay, Am I being turned into stone?
Yes, you are still being petrified. Your head is not petrified, though. You can think and you can speak. That is what you can do.
Can I turn into an animal?
What animal would you want to turn into?
An ant.
You successfully turn into an ant. Unfortunately,
go.
all your legs and your, like, lower 2/3 of that, ant body have been petrified.
So I can't move?
No, you cannot.
That sucks.
You just made it a little bit harder on you there, Les.
Yeah, you all kind of like lose track for a second until you like look down right in the middle of where she was standing and see that she's now a mostly petrified ant.
You know, if I wasn't looking for you, I'd probably step on you. And then, of course, you know, this would get a lot worse.
I tried. I really tried, but I can't fucking talk. But anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess I could turn back into a human, right?
Yeah, you can turn back into your human form.
Alright, we'll do that.
So it'll be about the time that Pius and Tempest get into the first floor where she would finish petrifying and thus be able to be shoved in a bag of holding safely. And you do notice that although like her clothes and most of her possessions petrified with her, the magic items did not.
Well, that's good at least.
Hey.
Finally get to put that body bag to work.
All right, so you all kind of meet up there on the first floor then.
Oh.
Is that me? Hello?
Nope. is it me?
Hello? Tempest, you're muted,
Nope.
and Twilight
Sorry.
disappeared.
Nope, Tempest is gone.
Oh yeah, Twilight's back.
There she is.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, so Twilight is missing as you see Captain and Wrath finish climbing up the rope. Wrath has a body bag slung over his shoulder. As Pious Tempest, you two finish coming down the stairs to the first floor.
Just whistling, what would you do with the drunken sailors?
Oh, hey. We figured she was safer in a bag of holding, and he'll gesture to the bag on his back.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It does make everything safer.
Hey, and I might have a few ways to try to bring her back to this. But we can't do it here.
We could just buy something from Patches.
Something
You
tells
feel
me
the tingle
Patches
of the
isn't gonna
rings
show up.
start. Yeah, you feel the tingle of the rings start and then just stop.
Well, we can walk outside to do it.
Gotta, Patches can't be running in here.
That's why I'm going to walk outside and do it.
Oh, okay.
As Twilight is speaking to you telepathically somehow.
I can
So you
still
step
hear
outside
it.
the tower and try again, and it still does the same thing.
Damn. Twilight, if you give me more attitude, I'm going to give you a wet willy before you fully turn to stone, so you have to deal with that for the rest of eternity.
Oh god, no. Oh, no.
Yes.
Turns to Tempest. Did he eat something while he was with you? Who's he talking to?
No, he's fine. He's just being pious.
Who's pious?
Exactly, see?
Hey, you're a pious middleman.
No, I know. I was kidding.
Okay, good.
Really had you all going there for a second.
It'd be really bad if we were all to go crazy. We'd never actually believe it.
Right. I mean, who's to say that I haven't been making up this entire journey the whole time? A time traveler. That's crazy.
Ha ha ha. This is
Okay, I think he's actually loves it.
And so the credits start rolling.
And Pius looks around and there's nobody in the room.
Except the padded walls and iron bars on the door.
It was like that. Yeah, like
You're
that
not
one
even a
movie. What
robot,
was
like
it?
you're a man, flesh and blood.
Like a bunch of people that were in this laundromat, and there was like a mystery. It was an old fucking movie, and then turns out all the people in this movie were in this one guy's head. I was like, wow, what a twist.
We're all his doctors. Okay.
Anyway, yeah. Wakes up on an operating table.
So I love that we're waiting for this joke so much because I actually ended a campaign that way.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, everyone was just crazy. They were in a mental asylum. And the whole campaign was just the Dungeons and Dragons that was being used as therapy.
Oh, jeez.
But yes, you're on the first floor. You have the opportunity to relay what you have found out if you desire.
Well, we have good news and bad news. We haven't found a key, but, and that's not part of the good news or bad news, that's just me telling you. The good news is Excalibur could possibly be real. The bad news is it could be
Real.
close to being wielded by a lich.
That is good and bad news. Hey.
Yeah, Excalibur is extremely powerful from what I've read. And whoever was studying this, they think that it could be used for necromancy as well. Which is not very good.
Gasp. Shock. Oh my.
What a twist.
So, are any of you doing anything during the conversation?
Can I try to dispel magic?
No, because you lack the hands.
I'm just playing with random shit in the room while they talk.
I love watching Pius bounce in response to the barks.
Yes, that's my apologies. There are demon dogs inside of my head.
I knew it.
Mom, why can't I have animals in my head?
You are a little animal sometimes.
What?
It's.
What?
Wait, Captain, who are you talking to? No, I'm just kidding.
But not again.
Oh no, we're spiraling.
Again.
Again, yes. I assume, Captain, you mentioned earlier that you might have an idea of how to help Twilight.
Hey, a couple things you could try. Stuff from history that I've been thinking about. But I don't have any of the ingredients here.
What are you looking for?
I don't have an
Couple
actual
things.
crafting list for things, so he gives you the names.
Oh.
Hey,
Yes, I'm unfamiliar with alchemy.
it's a little new for me. I'm a little rusty still, but it's fine.
Well, if you're sure, I trust you.
Well,
Uh,
we got nothing to lose. And
well,
everything to gain.
we do have a party member to lose.
Well, yes, we could go with that.
I understand what you're saying. So, if only I had greater restoration. Damn.
What about the Hermit? The Hermit could probably do something.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Where is the
Do
hermit,
you all know
though?
where the... yes, where is the... have you all seen the Hermit?
No, we figured he was with you.
Shit.
It's a dangerous moment. Of course he's not here.
True, very true.
Twilight's basically his child, and he's letting her die.
Well,
He's not gonna
He's-
die.
he's going through his own shit right now.
All of us are.
Well, yes. I'm not trying to invalidate your feelings, Tempest.
Grrr.
Don't you growl at me. Bad girl. Smack.
No, you gotta use a spray bottle for that.
I will bite you,
Oh.
and my ears are back because of you.
Sit.
That's
So-
going a step too far.
So,
Well-
Raph, because you've been quiet through all this, is there anything Raph is doing or thinking about at the moment?
He's just contemplating what would this madman use as a password, honestly. He's keeps mulling over the idea of Excalibur, and he is kind of debating on going downstairs and just saying that word to these circles.
Give me an insight check.
Sure. 16.
16. So, you've already encountered once where he hides his passwords in a book. Not directly, it's information that has to be parsed out. The information on Excalibur's just been randomly scattered all over the place. They've checked the upper floors, not found anything. You did a little searching down here, but you weren't looking for something like a password when you did so. And so it stands to reason that potentially one of the books will have like highlighted information or notes written in or something that would lead to the answer without directly giving it.
Pius, may I see the book that you were talking about with the Excalibur information?
Ah, yes, of course.
So
Here you go.
one was a single page and the other was like a 40-page thesis. Not really a book per se.
Oh. Well, here's some papers.
And I'll start scanning them, looking for words that might be strangely put in there. Could have like a dual meaning or something.
So you scan through it. You don't like do it super fast because you don't want to accidentally miss something. Well, those conversations also been going on simultaneously. And you get to the end, there's No notes written on the side. There's no highlighted portions. This looks like a thesis paper that was never submitted to the teacher that was supposed to go to. Like he wrote it and he just never turned in his homework.
Can't seem to glean much off of this. I don't know. He's just scanning this, looking for something.
Did you find anything else in the books besides just this?
Besides what?
Well, the Excalibur stuff. Was there anything else in the books?
No, not really. Well, there was a bunch of books on the anatomy of different creatures, but
Really?
I took one on mind flares.
oh yes, that's right.
Was there any on Gorgons?
Probably.
Possibly, yeah. There was a shit ton of them, so I wouldn't be surprised. Come on, I'll show you.
Absolutely.
Did we all just leave Draft with his thoughts?
You go back up to start looking, and there's no books on Gorgons. There is a book on basilisks. But even though they're both kind of petrified, they are very, very different creatures.
I'm not finding anything on werewolves. Uncultured.
Basilisk. Here.
Oh god, an undead werewolf would be absolutely fucking terrifying.
Now I want to fight one. Thanks, Pius.
No, we don't want to do that, actually. Me specifically.
She didn't say you. She said her.
Hey, it's fair. You couldn't handle
Yes, but I'm not going to... not going to let you fight alone. You can spar all you like, but if an undead werewolf comes out of nowhere, we're going to have to kill it together.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If I take my time.
So, for the puzzle, we're gonna take a step back here real quick. Out of game. The clues so far that you've found are that what you're looking for is in the tower, the legend of Excalibur, and that he leaves clues in books. And that each floor has its own theme. The 5th floor is biology, the second floor is necromancy, and the first floor is mythology and history.
I'm going back to the first floor.
Oh, do I have telepathic? Telepathic?
With Pius. Just because Pius has telepathy.
Pius,
yes.
first, tell Captain Flowers to start munching on this rock, since he likes rocks. Second off, see if it's in my books.
What about the books?
See if there's any sign of a clue in my books.
Yes, I mean that's what we're doing, yeah.
No, my book.
And wait, your book?
My book.
Which one?
Both of them.
Are you talking about the skill books?
Yes.
No, that's not going to help at all.
Okay. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
No, I appreciate your eagerness, but and also if Captain Flowers eats part of your rock, that's when we cure you of your petrification, you'll have chunks of flesh missing. So that's probably not a great idea for him to chew on your rock. Unless you're into that kind of thing. I mean, I'm not going to judge you.
Hey, you know?
Pius,
Right.
are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Why do you ask? I'm going up to the 2nd floor.
Or Captain he's
Swiftly
having a
walks up.
conversation with himself.
I
Okay,
know.
Tempest, you're going to the first floor. Ice, you're going to the second floor. Captain, you are on the fifth floor. What are you doing from there?
Take a look more at the. Well, let's see if there's any possibly thing more about like the traps or anything like that.
Looking for things about the trap?
Yes, the traps.
Okay. Give me an investigation. Pius, what are you doing on the second floor?
That was the floor for necromancy, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna try and search for things that I would recognize that Acrid would have possibly talked about or written about.
Really?
Like similarities, because I know that whoever did this probably didn't have anything to do with Acrid, but since they were both liches, I feel like there would be some similarities.
Okay. Give me an insight check. Tempest, what are you doing on the first floor?
I'm too stupid to actually help out. I'm gonna browse the books on the first floor.
Okay. Give me an investigation. Wrath, how about you?
Finally! Draw these ones.
My mind is falling apart right now. I'm not sure. Wrath is just following other people around. I'm sorry, I haven't slept in like 3 days.
Oh, God.
Oh.
He's just following Pius around at this point, trying to put his thoughts together.
Okay. Captain, we'll start with you and your investigation.
It was 16.
16. So you decide to start with that book on basilisks you found. Then, as you're going through, you do start finding sections that are highlighted and little notes scribbled on the side. And even though you're not really familiar with like wizardry and the way magic works in that fashion, you do recognize that this is all his notes on how he created the ritual circles. Using the essentially copying and making an artificial version of the basilisk's petrification ability. And the circle itself is not just a single circle that produces that magic, but it's also designed in a way that it protects itself from being destroyed. And that the password is how you deactivate it. And it only deactivates it for the passing of one person through it at a time. So it has to be spoken every single time a person goes through it.
Helpful but not helpful. Do I see that it's also written down in the password?
Nothing that you would think would indicate the password.
Ah, bollocks.
Pius, with your 23, I'm kind of looking through things. You find a kind of like handwritten paper similar to a thesis, but it's much messier and it looks more like Nick when they were trying to create new spells or something. And you notice that he seems to be trying to reverse engineer a different ritual. He doesn't have all the information listed on it, but it seems to be something that ascends past a witch. And he was trying to recreate this ritual.
Pius just kind of sits there and shakes his head a little bit, trying to stay focused without worrying about it too much.
Tempest, you're on the first floor. You've taken time to browse this when you were here the first time. And there were a variety of books that caught your attention then. You even took one with you. But as you're going through, one catches your eye just because of the circumstance, and it is The Legend of Excalibur. Huge, thick tome, at least 2,000 pages. And as you pull it off the shelf, you notice something fall out of it.
Ooh. I pick it up.
It seems to be a thin sheet of plastic, about 3 inches long and 2 inches tall.
It's just a piece of plastic. I'm gonna look through it.
Look through the book.
The book, yes. The plastic, I'm gonna look through it just to see if it's like some weird like glasses magnification thing.
It looks kind of like a key card.
Oh, okay. That changes perspective. I'll put that in my pocket. Now I'm going through the book.
As you're flipping through the book, there are markings and notations constantly throughout it. But you get to one page that you notice has been dog-eared, been marked specifically. It's the last page of a chapter, and there's just one very short paragraph at the end of it that reads, "Hearken to my word. Those with the will of a mayor, I request you prepare the beds and food. Those who dare draw sword or bow, pass with me into battle and earn your title of knight." Throughout this phrase, though, there are 5 words that have been highlighted. Word, mayor, sword, pass, knight.
That sounds very important. I'm taking a mental note of those key words for sure. But no, just gonna wrap up what I'm doing. I'm gonna go find everyone else with the key card.
Alright, so you all kind of finish checking your stuff, and you meet up on the 2nd floor with Pius and Rat.
Did you find anything, Tempest?
Surprisingly, yes. I
Oh,
got this cool book here, and this fell out of it.
Do I recognize that key card?
You recognize it as a key card. But beyond that,
Oh.
no, there's no real special markings or anything on it. It's like a key card that hasn't actually been imprinted yet. It's just plain white or gray plastic.
Sorry, could you repeat that last part? I'm so sorry.
It's like an key card that hasn't been printed on yet, so it's just this plain gray plastic, 3 inches by 2
Okay.
inches thin.
and what about the book?
It's more stuff on Excalibur. I'm kind
Really?
of stuck on this last part, though.
What does it say?
I show the passage, that last passage part.
Okay, I'll repeat it all then. Hearken to my word. Those with the will of a mayor, I request you prepare the beds and food. Those who dare draw sword or bow, pass with me into battle and earn your title of knight. In that phrase, the words word, mayor, sword, pass, and knight have all been highlighted. It appears to be from specifically the legend of King Arthur.
Nightmare sword. That's the password.
What?
If you jumble all of these words, you get... Wait. Is that right? Mayor.
Since
Word.
you basically did already say, you can scramble them to get password nightmare sword. That is one of the orders.
That's amazing, Pius.
Oh, thank you. Comes with the processing.
Sword of Nightmares.
Oh my god. I think he's trying to change Excalibur. He's going to turn it into something else. Something much worse. Or at least try to.
Pius, take a plot point for the double entendre and noticing it.
Yay! I feel inspired.
Inspire us? Come on, Pius.
No, I'm keeping this one to myself. I apologize. It's my first one, so I kind of want to... No, you can't fuck me. I don't have any organs. Ha!
Not that
Refrain from making comments.
Stare.
This approving stare intensifies.
Oh, shit.
So Excalibur's real. And he's gonna make it evil. This sounds like an awesome mission. I'm starting to feel hyped again.
It's only awesome if we succeed.
Don't take away my hype. It's been so long.
I'm only just trying to let you down gently because the entire multiverse is at stake. Huh?
You're gonna let me drown?
No, down, as in DOWN.
Oh.
I mean, you can also
It's a-
drown.
No, I don't want anybody to drown. It's a metaphor.
Oh my god, you gonna throw me in the lake?
I might.
Hey, then she can be Lady in the Lake. Yeah.
Me, okay.
Well, now that we know the password, I suppose we can get rid of those traps.
Well, about that. You can't really get rid of them. Whatever the man did. Apparently, he made it so you can't get rid of them. However, you can pass through them if you say the nightmare word. But apparently, it's only one at a time. Found it in the Basilisk book.
What an asshole.
I know.
He must not have many friends.
It happens.
Liches never do. They make friends, they don't have them.
You'd be surprised, Pius, who has friends.
I'm not surprised at all, because I was part of... Never mind. Okay, so we've figured that out. I'm wondering if that key card is the key that we need to get into his office.
Hey, I'll need to brush your teeth in your...
Probably. Well, no, unless we try.
All right.
Things could even happen.
We end up the same thing as Twilight.
Wait, what?
You said worse thing. I could think of worse things. Like being spoiled in a stew, like a potato. Or chopped up, like a potato. Or made into french fries, like a potato. I may be hungry. It's okay.
God damn, well, this potato
Oh.
talk, thanks a lot. No,
Oh, you know what? Potatoes actually sound pretty good right about now. And by the way, well, when we first came in here, there were the things about like possibly a cave and like another building. And since none of us saw any, I went looking for it. And I did. I found another building.
Grab him, don't let him go.
good work. Correlate what you're doing to us, please.
Trying to help, taking the initiative.
Twilight is dying.
He's not dying. He's being turned into a statue of stone. You got great restoration on you.
Find a king.
Well, I
king
don't
or
really know all the
stone.
spells I have, but I can just, I don't know, try and see if I do.
Well, there you go. At least you got to try. Otherwise, she's stuck in this. We gotta try other things. That's, something I might have to do later on. But yeah. So Campfire, he unzips the body bag and he just kind of carefully puts her up.
So the hermit just kind of starts trying to hum a tune along, and
The magic builds and releases, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Then he stops and thinks for a moment before going back and trying something else as he starts to hum. And I think at least one of you recognizes how Dispel Magic works. Because that works. And poof! She is no longer sound.
One problem solved. Good job, Hermit.
Good job.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you. And I know Dispel Magic. That might come in handy later.
Hey.
All right.
Run up and give him a big hug.
He embraces you.
Aw, I love you too.
So what are we doing at the moment then?
Hugging.
Try not to cry.
besides that.
Figuring things out.
Do you say die or cry or figuring things out?
No, I didn't say anything about dying or crying, actually. You must have misheard me. I said we're trying to figure things out.
Oh, okay. I am getting a bit old.
You're still a child compared to me, though.
Compared to a lot of other people, that'd be true.
We are trying to figure out how to get to the dragon, or are we trying to figure out these other damn clues?
Have you been walking around with your eyes closed?
She was turned to stone, so kind of.
Yes.
We know where the dragon is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I know how to get into his office now. We'll use this piece of plastic here.
Lead the way, Pius.
Okay.
Remember, done with it. I want to study it.
Don't eat it.
I'm not going to eat it. It's inanimate. I'm going to study it.
That means nothing with you.
It's just because I eat one rock.
Oh, and thank you for not eating me.
Why would I eat you? You
That's
taste
still
terrible.
up on the table.
I was a rock.
I would eat
And now you're looking
vegetarians.
at it.
Wait, did you just say you don't eat vegetarians?
Aye.
And what do you call the game that we capture that eats only plants?
Have you known deer to just eat only plants?
Yes.
Maybe not deer, because those are scavengers whenever food gets short, but there's plenty of
Hummingbirds.
game that we...
No. Herbivores.
Is there any animal that's truly a herbivore?
Yes.
Twilight.
Yeah. Definitely.
So we're calling her a creature now.
That about sums it up, yes.
Yes.
No argument there.
Rat just shakes his head.
Hey, you got me.
The long argument we had over whether or not giants were considered creatures or people.
I thought we already established. I thought we already established that giants weren't me. But are we going back to that subject now?
No.
You
Did
did
you find a
Pius
clue
goes
in
down
the
the
book
hole.
that says giants are meat?
Where's this office at? Oh my god, my head hurts.
So you can all
Don't
just
worry about it.
head downstairs, and once again, you're in between me two, the two ritual circles.
Oh fuck no! I ain't going in there again.
Nightmare sword. And then I'll walk into the south one.
Okay. You get through, no issues. It doesn't light up or do anything as you pass through to the other side.
Hey, you were right, Pius. I was kind of really hoping you were.
You mean the
Ah. I love being
Remember, stay
right.
one at a time as you pass it through.
Nightmare sword.
He prances through.
Once again, nothing happens.
Nightmare sword. Casually walk through.
And again, nothing happens.
Nightmare sword.
Penguin comes out of the ground.
Something happens this time.
Not
Hey,
even that.
Captain, I do want you to roll a wisdom save. DC 21.
Are you serious? That DC 21 does the save? Okay.
This is dwarf racism.
This is.
It's okay, Captain.
Oh, it's terrible. It's a 6.
That's a 6. So you say the password, and you go to step through it, and all of you are pretty much looking at him at the moment. But Captain, you're the only one that sees this, as you see a penguin rise from the ground. Specifically, Blackbeak, the penguin at the top of it all, and it lurches forward to slam its beak into you, and you reel back, not expecting this, and hear fear as you hit the ground and start backing up into the middle of the room again, before the vision just dissipates.
Blackbeak, the penguin is
Captain. What are you talking about?
Here, the penguin. Hang on. Right there.
Captain, there's no penguins here. What is this place?
I can change into one.
No,
I'll eat you.
please don't. Captain, say the password again and come through. I'll try and grab you halfway and pull you.
Nightmare sword.
You get through without issue this time.
I fucking hate this place.
Me too.
I'm gonna walk up to the I'm gonna walk up to room number 6 and see if there's a place to put a key card.
Okay. Twilight, are you still standing in the middle of the room, or are you going to attempt to pass through like everybody else?
Oh, I am passing that. I know it. I no way. Can I fly
Wait.
above it?
Okay, you want to just fly up and fly over it?
Yeah, definitely.
Make a Constitution save.
Yes, I'll roll lucky.
I'm convinced she's immortal.
So, the 15 passed.
Oh, thank God.
Barely, but you feel the magics just lash up and out at you again and start to petrify you, and you manage to shrug it off like you did the first time as you pass over it, realizing that the magic extends all the way up to the actual ceiling/floor of the first floor, and that you need to say the password before passing through.
Oh, Nightmare Sword. So I have to say that then? Okay.
Too late.
In the future. So as you open up in this room, as you approach the door, you notice that it doesn't seem to have any door handles or anything, but it does have like what looks like a keypad where you type in numbers normally, but it's just a flat surface to press a key card up to. Pius, you remember doing something similar to this at the SCP Foundation, as you kind of remember you and Dr. Rifle entering his office at one point.
Yep, I'm going to press the key card up against it.
So in the room, you see in the lower right portion of it is a rather long desk. It's not particularly wide, but there's scattered notes, a few books, look like some basic regents and other spell components in the corner. There's scattered equipment through the room that would be used for magical experimentation. On the north, like in the center of the wall, is a rather large cabinet with 2 doors. In the right are barrels that are not actually all that damaged or old. There's only a thin layer of dust that's been in this entire lower area. And up in the top left is a box of what appear to be vials of various liquids. The little gold trim square off to the right above the desk, is a large chest, like 5 feet wide, 5 feet deep, and 4 foot tall.
I'm investigating the chest.
Then roll an investigation. How about Pius?
Pies is going to check the desk, the drawers, and everything on top of it.
Alright, give me an investigation. How about Captain?
Investigating along the walls.
Just investigating along the walls. Alright, give me that investigation. Tempest?
So, did my investigation go up to 4?
Go up to 4?
Yeah, because it's like, it's sitting at a 3, and then last week, we got to add a point.
Oh, I didn't increase your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You increased your intelligence, so that should be a 4. I am editing that right now. Hopefully it'll say.
I am too.
The 7 should be an 8, so.
Okay.
Tempest, though, what are you doing in this room?
I'll just help with the investigation.
Who are you going to help?
I'll help Pius on the desk.
Thank you.
Pius, give me that second roll, and how about Wrath?
Fuck's sake.
Jeez. Did Lance fall asleep?
Oh, I'm so sorry. No, Wrath is just watching to make sure no one comes up behind us while no one's paying attention.
Alright. No need to roll on that one. So, Pius, your better was a 9 looking through everything alongside Tempest. And the 2 of you don't necessarily find anything that's immediately interesting or notable. There is a notebook that seems to talk about the experiments that he's been performing in a lot of just as if he inserted someone else's notes in at various points in it. As you dig deeper into the book, though, you do find a page near the end that lists the numbers 1 through 5, and each one seems to have a different set of like 2 words. Next to the number 1 is giant zombie. 2, undeath bite. 3, burning undeath. 4, cockroach. And next to 5 is just one word, Nightwalker. Captain, what
He's
do you have on
trying to
investigation of
create-
the walls?
Investigation of the walls. It was what, 19? Yeah, 19.
19?
Hey.
You don't notice anything particularly crazy about them, but they do seem to be of elven design, the way that it was built.
Interesting.
And Twilight, the chest is locked. And it needs an actual physical key. Like a type you would normally put in like real world doors, so to speak. Otherwise, it does seem to have some type of magic protecting it from damage and the such.
So it has so it's like goodness gracious, it's got a magic force basically.
Yeah, a magic force field, so to speak, that's protecting it, as well as needing a lock to unlock it. Now I have given everyone what they have seen and found. Proceed without me. Actually, we're at 4 hours. How about we wrap it up there? Y'all will have time to think about this notebook and the information found so far. And you basically have cleared this first area, at least, of the 6 areas. Well, 2 areas, since the tower is counted here as an area. So there's that.
We did it.
We did it.
You guys did it, yay! Without my help, mostly.
Yeah. Well, you did force us to figure out how to get past those rituals, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's technically helping.
Alright, y'all. I'm going to get some much needed sleep. I'll catch you
Yes,
later.
please do.
Alrighty.
Have a
See you,
good
brother.
night.
Yeah.
So,
Is it?
everyone that's here, thank you so much for joining us. And as always, I love you! Baba Kupo! We're gonna go read Lucky Sorry because she's awesome!
Bye.
Bye.